Before you start creating your Facebook ad, it's important that you understand the key ad policies for both Facebook and Instagram, because there are definitely some restrictions in place in terms of targeting and the messaging that you can use. So the best place to read about all of these policies is going to be on Facebook itself. So that is facebook.com/policies/ads. Once you go to this URL, and of course I will link to this in the resource section of the course, you will land on a page like this. So there is a few things which you want to bear in mind, and the first is going to be the ad review process. So when you create an ad on Facebook, it doesn't automatically go live. Facebook actually have an internal team which review the ad and make sure it complies with all of their policies before it goes live on all of their platforms. So typically when you submit an ad for review, it's going to take up to 24 hours to get it approved. Now, the more you use Facebook advertising and the more ads you run and the longer you've had your Facebook account for, the more likely this review process is going to be shorter. For example, if you're spending a lot of money on Facebook ads every single month and you've got a proven history of never having any issues in regards to policies, then it's very likely that your ads will be approved almost instantly. However, if you're brand new to Facebook ads, then please be patient as it can take up to 24 hours. But as I said, this will improve the longer you continue to run ads for. Now, if any of your ads do get disapproved, then you'll be notified via email, and you can see you've got some steps to take action if your ad is disapproved. So you can go ahead, either appeal it, rectify the ad, and then get that ad live on the platform. So you're probably wondering, okay, great, but what makes an ad get disapproved? Well, this is what I'm going to run through in this video. So there are a lot of obvious things you shouldn't do when it comes to running Facebook ads, such as, advertising any illegal products or services, selling tobacco, drugs, all the kind of straightforward stuff. But there's a few definitely interesting ones on there for sure, such as number 6, unsafe supplements. So as you can see, it says adverts must not promote the sale or use of unsafe supplements as determined by Facebook at its sole discretion. This is the reason why you never really see ads on Facebook promoting supplement products, because it's all down to Facebook's sole discretion. Whether your supplement is safe or not, it doesn't really matter, as bad as it sounds. It all comes down to Facebook's decision. So if you do operate in the supplement industry and that's what you plan on promoting with Facebook ads, it's definitely worth you investing some of your time just to make sure that your products are definitely safe and you at least have some certificates to back that up. Maybe you can run some tests or clinical trials just to really prove that your supplement is indeed safe. So if you do have any issues with Facebook ads and the policies, you can go ahead and send that certificate across to Facebook and actually appeal the decision. I have seen a lot of people starting their own supplement businesses in the last few years, and they have run into a few issues when it comes to Facebook ad policies, so definitely ensure you give that enough time and care. So we've got a few more obvious things as well, such as you can't run ads for any weapons, munitions, adult products or services, adult content, and so on. But number 10 is another really interesting one. I've actually seen 2 different businesses in the last 6 or 7 months now, I think in total, have problems when it comes to third-party infringement. So basically what it was, this guy wanted to start his own t-shirt business, and what he was doing, he was going onto Google, finding these really cool images, and then basically sticking that image on a t-shirt, and then using Facebook ads to promote that t-shirt. Well, the problem with doing this is that the images he's using from Google, they are not his images, and he doesn't own the copyrights. So what he's essentially doing is stealing other people's images, putting them on a t-shirt, and then selling it and making the profit. Now, the person who owns that image is not profiting from that whatsoever. So if you do plan on starting your own t-shirt business or your own printing company, for example, then please make sure the images that you use are going to be royalty free, as you're going to run into a lot of issues. Now, if that is you, for example, and you plan on starting your own t-shirt business, then you can use these 2 websites right here, pixabay.com, and you can use unsplash.com to find tons of free, royalty-free images that you can print on top of your t-shirts, where you can find tons of images which you can use, which of course are all royalty-free and free to use. Then you can then overlay those onto your t-shirt and not have to worry about any third-party infringement issues. So another important one to really pay attention to. We've got a few more other things as well, such as misinformation. So again, if you run any ads, please make sure what you are saying is indeed 100% correct and factual. You definitely do not want to misinform people, as that can actually cause your ads getting disapproved. You've got a few more obvious things as well, such as cheating, despiteful practices, grammar, non-existent, personal health, and so on. Payday loans is another big one. We speak to a lot of payday loan companies in London who want to run Facebook ads, but of course we can't actually run any ads for them, as payday loans is not really in Facebook's best interest, and as a result, running ads for payday loans is going to be a complete violation of the policies, and you're most likely going to get removed of the platform if you continue to do so. Now, if we keep scrolling down, there's a lot more other things you need to pay attention to as well. If we go into restricted content, I want to run through a couple more, which is actually quite interesting. The other is obviously going to be alcohol. Now, this one is quite interesting as essentially this is based on your local laws. For example, in the United Kingdom, to be able to drink alcohol, you need to be at least 18 years old. So that means if you're running any alcohol related ads, then you need to make sure that you're only targeting people that are above the age of 18. If you target anyone below the age of 18, then you're going to run into some problems. However, if you're running ads in another country where maybe the minimum age for alcohol is 21, then of course you're going to want to update your targeting to ensure you only target people of 21 and above. And of course, there are a lot more other restricted pieces of content as well, such as subscription services, online pharmacies. You've got ads about social issues, elections, and politics. You probably would have seen that in the news a lot about Facebook ads and politicians and so on. So definitely worth giving all of this a read just to make sure you're fully clued up on exactly what you can and what you can't do on Facebook ads. Now, the last thing which I want to run through is going to be the targeting option. So it's all to do with the positioning of your ad. And number 3 is the one which I want to focus on in particular, which is going to be a related landing pages. So I don't know why, but I see a lot of people set up Facebook ads and it's to do with maybe wireless mouses for computers, for example. And the page you land on once you click the ad has literally nothing to do with what the ad was about. So the landing page is not relevant to the ad. Now, Facebook has actually cracked down on this a lot recently, and I'm not sure, like I said, why people continue to do this, but you really want to make sure that your landing page is relevant to what your ad is about. And I know it sounds very straightforward and kind of obvious, but believe me, you'll be surprised how many people just chuck in a random link to any random Facebook landing page, which has no relation to the ad itself. So please make sure you pay attention to that and keep things relevant. And of course, if your landing page is relevant to your ad, which of course your ad should be relevant to your users and the people you are targeting, then you're going to see more conversions and more success from your Facebook campaign on the whole. Now, there are a lot more other policies you obviously need to bear in mind as well, especially true if you're running video ads or lead adverts, for example. I mean, any tab you see on the left-hand side, then you definitely want to check out the policy portal and make sure your ads are going to be fully compliant. And if you do that, you're going to have no issues whatsoever, and you're going to have a nice, smooth journey when it comes to running Facebook ads. So that is it for this video, and to summarize, we've covered the key ad policies which you need to follow when it comes to running ads on Facebook and Instagram, and now we've got that out of the way, it's time to move on into some more detailed information which is all about how the Facebook ad structure works, and most importantly, how you can actually go out there and set up and start running your own Facebook ads. So I'll see you in the next one.